All right, now this is the double oak.
This is the double oak. This is aged 6 years, and then aged, like, this is 3 6-year whiskeys that are then combined and aged 1 additional year in new oak barrels.
Okay. All
So
right.
it is a 7-year, but it is a blended 7-year.
Right. So the nose is way more complex than the standard.
Way sweeter too.
Yep. It has the maple of like the double oaking, a little bit of vanilla,
A little caramel, brown sugar.
caramel. Yeah. There's like a candy note I'm getting too, like just like
Just a
a
tad, yeah.
like a rock candy, like a simple candy sugar note. Like no fruitiness, just like a
No,
candy
and
sugar
it's
note.
it's like the candied note from the Buffalo Trace kosher wheat without the fruity part of it.
Yes. So like, I guess the best way to put it is like clear, unflavored rock candy.
Yeah,
That's the best way to put it.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there's a way more going on with this.
Is this
one.
also 92 proof?
This is 100 proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which may be why this has a stronger nose, but let's dive in and find out.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I like that.
I like it a lot.
Very sweet.
It's very sweet. The double oaking doesn't have as much of a punch like a lot of other double oaks have. Like
It's
this,
reminiscent of it, but it's
Yeah.
not the same.
like this isn't like super thick and oily like Woodford double oak is.
No, in fact, it's not very viscous at all.
No, it's not very
Yeah.
dark either, surprisingly.
No, it's almost like a gold.
Yep, like a light amber or a gold. But the flavors are all sweet, and like a lot of those desserty notes come out. It's a little spicy, which is
I
not.
was gonna say, because I thought I was getting a little bit of not green, but
I would say it's
There's just
spice.
a touch of like rye spice to it.
Yeah,
rye spice, oak spice. I can't tell exactly
Yeah.
where it's coming from, but
which
there was something that was standing out near the finish to me.
yeah, and like spice is not typical for a double oak usually.
No, it's not.
No, this
Aside
is,
from maybe some oak spice,
this is really interesting.
but it's not necessarily a characteristic of a generic oak spice on a bourbon.
You know what I think is ironic? I feel like this tastes younger than the standard one. I get some
I
of
can-
those doughy young notes.
I
Weirdly
could
enough,
agree to that. It could just be imparting a lot of that new barrel.
it could be. I think that the youth we're tasting is coming from their barrel selection. I want to know what they're doing with their barrels. Like they might be doing the same thing as Heaven Hill, where they're doing lighter char barrels for their bourbons.
That's very possible.
Because
Yeah.
like most of the other big names, like Jim Beam and Wild Turkey, use number 4 char, whereas like Heaven Hill uses number 3 char as their standard. It makes me wonder.
Definitely has something to do with it.
Yeah, I think that this
Makes me
might.
wonder how much it would change if they used a 4-char like Beam does.
A lot more oak and a lot more brown sugar, I would think.
I would think so.
And it like those youthful notes we're getting would go away.
Right. This is delicious though, honestly.
I'm a big fan of this.
I'd seen it around in regular Heaven Store. I think I've seen it at Chalet once or twice, and I just kind of looked over it. I might not look over it next time.
And that's what my thinking is here too. Like, I don't know
And I mean,
if
you had a chance to try all 3 for the price of about a bottle.
Yeah,
that's really solid.
So far, I think I would lean towards buying the variety pack before I would buy a whole bottle of any of these.
Right, just because, like, none of them stand out super extremely, but, like, I can see myself being in a mood for at least the 2 we've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was super excited to find this variety pack because I like, I went to a couple different liquor stores while I was down in Virginia, and the last one I went to, they had this, and I was looking at it, I'm like, I can't pass this up. I really liked, because I had tried the regular bourbon before, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's just,
Good opportunity to try the rest of their standard
and
offerings.
I'm glad I did because now I know the next time I see the double barrel, I'm buying it.
Oh, yeah. And we'll find out about the rye, too. See how it stacks up compared to other, again, also 40-ish buck ryes you've had?
I believe the rye MSRP is around 50.
They probably age it around the same as the bourbon, but a 6-year rye that 6 years does a lot more to a rye than it does to a bourbon.
Yeah.
Because you think the 6-year Russell's rye versus the 10-year bourbon are the same price.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, rye does not need as much aging to be good. That's why, especially when it comes to craft, I'll trust a rye over a bourbon.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I
If you have if somewhere's offering a 3-year rye and a 3-year bourbon, you know that 3-year rye is gonna probably at the
That's
least
your better
be solid.
choice. Yeah, that's your better choice for sure.
And that's why, especially when it comes to PA stuff, aside from maybe the Kinsey 4-year and maybe Resurgent, I'd probably exclusively stick to rye. Oh, excluding McLaughlin because they're kind of they're way up in craft territory, but their stuff is really good.
Yeah, they're significantly better craft distillery than a lot of other people.
You definitely pay that premium.
Oh,
But
for sure.
I mean, that stuff is good.
I might have to head back there at some point and pick up one of their higher proof offerings.
That cask strength, I wish it wasn't $200 a bottle. I
I
get
know.
why it is because they got to make their money and they're a very small distillery. They
that
only
cask
sell in
strength-
Western
I mean,
PA. They don't even sell in Eastern
The
PA.
fact that we had the fucking cask strength without them even filtering it to get the char out.
Yeah, the fact that there's little chunks of char still in it, like
That was as pure cask
Like,
strength of a whiskey as
what
you'll ever get.
Kim is doing, he really knows what he's doing at McLaughlin. It's really interesting because they do a lot of experimenting with. I mean, their stuff is aged a good couple years, but like most of their experimenting is with barrel size. Because
Yeah.
you think McLaughlin, they use like the baby barrels, and then they have some full size barrels. They have some 25-gallon barrels. Like their experimenting is all with
Barrel size and placement.
and you can tell, and they do, and even their moonshines. Like I'm not a big fan of flavored moonshines and vodkas.
Oh,
It's all solid.
Every
Their
moonshine
moonshines are
had-
dangerous.
Dude, flavored moonshine is fucking great whenever it's craft. Have you had anything from Country Hammer yet?
I have not. I've had Tall Pines because they were at the International Auto Show the one year, and I decided to buy their caramel one, and it's delicious. And their Banana Foster is really good.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh, the cracker's getting crackers all over the bed. We're
No.
still rolling, friends.
We should make a trip out to Country Hammer at some point because their flavored moonshine is fucking amazing.
Another bourbon I trust, Liberty Pole.
I've yet to try
I've
that
heard
shit.
Yeah.
great stuff.
Liberty Pull is solid. They're not my favorite, but they're solid.
Right.
I've yet to try their stuff.
And their prices
I've heard
went
good
down a
things
little
about
bit. I want to try their peated bourbon.
It's solid.
They also just came out with a rye, by the way.
A peated rye or a
No,
standard rye?
well, the peated rye exists, but we carry the regular rye now.
Right. I knew that they made the peated rye. I didn't know that they had made a standard rye yet.
Yeah, we have.
But yeah, their peated bourbon is surprisingly good. I like it a lot.
But anyway, just to bring this back before we hop into the Heaven's Door rye, that's the double barrel. Honestly, really surprised by these so far.